What is up, everyone? It is Rachel. Welcome back to my channel. And so today's video is super exciting because I asked you all over on my Instagram story to give me some assumptions that you have about UC Berkeley. And so we're going to go through those today to see what is true and what is false about UC Berkeley. If you are new to my channel, hello, my name is Rachel. I graduated from Berkeley in May 2020, where I double majored in cognitive science and legal studies. And now I'm currently working full-time at a law firm. And so if you are a student applying to colleges this upcoming cycle, you should definitely check out Study Hall College Consulting. It's a team of myself and other UC Berkeley students where we specialize in reviewing college application essays and consulting one-on-one with students and parents. So definitely check out our website and social medias. On our website, we have a blog where we post weekly tips, and on our social media we also post a ton of tips and tricks. So without further ado, let's get into your UC Berkeley assumptions. So the first assumption is that UC Berkeley is super toxic and competitive. And I also talked about this topic in my UC Berkeley Q&A video, so I'll have that link down below if you also wanted to check that out. So I would say that this assumption is true and false. It's false in the sense that I would personally say that Berkeley doesn't have a toxic culture in terms of like studying or grades, but I would say that it's true in the sense that classes can be competitive because everyone is working hard and everyone is so intelligent. And so classes can be competitive because you yourself, you are trying to work harder, study harder, so you can get the grades that you want to obtain. And it's also a little bit competitive because some classes are based on a curve, which means that you do need to score better than other classmates in your class in order to be above the curve. So it is competitive in that sense where you're pushing yourself and also your peers are pushing you to work harder so you can get those grades that you want. Like I said in the other video, I wouldn't say that Berkeley is cutthroat and competitive in the way where people are trying to purposefully sabotage you. You will never make any friends because everyone is snaky. They all want to stab you in the back. I would say that that is totally false. Like, there are probably some people out there wherever you go to college and also in the workforce who may have bad intentions. They might purposefully try to trick you, but overall I would say in Berkeley's classes, yes, they are challenging, yes, they are difficult, but it isn't impossible to get the grades that you want to attain as long as you work hard, you go to office hours, you make study groups, you ask questions, and you ask for help when you need help. So the next assumption is that students are stressed out all of the time. And so I would say that this is false. I want to say true and false again, but then I feel like every answer for this assumptions video, I would say true and false. So I will say false for this one because I would say that students aren't stressed out all of the time, but people do find time to hang out with friends, to go out and travel, to go to San Francisco for the weekend. You shouldn't be studying 24/7 because you're going to burn out, and honestly, like, that's not the way that you're going to learn. So I would say yes, students are stressed. It is college. I feel like no matter where you go to college, it is going to challenge you. It is going to stress you out. You are going to have to study. So I don't think being a stressed out college student is only for UC Berkeley students, but no matter where you're going, you're probably going to be pushed harder than you've ever been pushed in high school. If you do find yourself stressed out, that isn't like a normal amount of stress, then it is important to ask for help and not struggle alone. The next assumption is that UC Berkeley has hard classes. And I would say that this is 100% true. You know, I think so many students are coming into college and going to Berkeley. They were the top of their class in high school. They all excelled academically throughout their life. So the classes become really, really difficult. And I would say some classes can be easier than other classes, and also like depending what your strengths are in certain subjects, that might make a class easier for you, but then it might be harder for another student. But I would definitely say that I had to work so hard in all of my Berkeley classes, way harder than I ever had to work in high school, putting in more hours to study, learning all of the materials, going into office hours and asking questions. It all is very time consuming. And I think that's a big shock for students coming in, because if you breezed past high school and everything was super easy, then that is going to be a big transition going into college. For me, I found that putting in the time and the effort and all of the hard work into classes, it does pay off in getting the grades that you do want to get. But on the other hand, I've also received the lowest grades that I've ever gotten ever. And if you've liked this video so far, definitely give this video a big thumbs up to help me out with the YouTube algorithm. So the next assumption is that all classes are grade deflated and you are going to get bad grades in every class. And so I would say that this is overall false, but some aspects of grade deflation that you might have heard of are true. Grade deflation basically means that your grades are curved down in your class. And so I would say that some classes do have grade deflation at Berkeley, where like only a certain percentage of people can get A's, so then they have to curve people down to get a B, even when you have like a 90% in the class, which would technically be an A-. And so my first-hand experience with this, I was taking a sociology class my freshman year where too many students got A's, so they had to curve the entire class down. So some students would get B's and C's because too many students were at like that upper end of the normal bell curve, so they needed to distribute the grades to make it a normal bell curve. And so I remember I had like a 93% in that class, which would normally be an A-, but because of the grade deflation, it actually became a B+. And with your GPA, that is major, because an A-, that is a 3.7 GPA, but a B+ is a 3.3 GPA. It really makes your GPA suffer. But also certain departments may have grade deflation or curve people down if too many students get high grades. But I would definitely say if you're taking any like STEM classes, math classes, some economics classes that I've taken, because the average for the midterms are like 20 or 30%, then they will typically curve you up. So like say the average on your computer science exam is a 30%, so that means, okay, they're going to curve everyone up because everyone is failing right now. And so if the average is 30%, a 30% might curve to a B in the class, and say you got a 40% or a 50%, it's all like statistics. If you score like 1 standard deviation or 2 standard deviations above the average, that would translate to a high grade like an A. But if you scored below the class average, that would translate to like a C or something like that with the curve. And that's where I said for the competitive question, where you are sort of competing with yourself, but you're also competing with everyone else in the class to score average or above average so you can get an A or a B in the class. So the next assumption is that everyone at Berkeley is a Stanford reject. I don't know. Okay, I would say that this is true and false again. There are people at Berkeley who got into like Ivy League schools or schools like Stanford, but the sad thing, like they didn't have the money or they couldn't afford to go to those colleges. And so I guess it's also sort of like a meme or a joke on campus that everyone is a Stanford reject. And so if you did go online to stanfordrejects.com, then it actually brings you to Berkeley's website, and you know, obviously Stanford and Berkeley are two amazing schools. I feel like people say it more of as a joke rather than with malice. So the next assumption is that when you go to college, you are going to miss your family. And I would say this is definitely true. I think no matter where you go, in-state, out-of-state, obviously I was an out-of-state student to Berkeley, so I really didn't have the opportunity to go home that often. Even if you are going to a college right near your house, you might not be going home that often. So it definitely is a big transition from high school to college because you are leaving your family and hometown friends and you're going somewhere where you're meeting a ton of new people. So I would definitely say, yeah, you do miss aspects of like your previous life, your life before going to college. But it is a new chapter. You open a lot of new doors. You meet a ton of really cool, awesome people. And so meeting those people and building that friend group of close friends, it is like a home away from home. The next assumption is that everyone at Berkeley loves boba. And so I would say that this is very true. Basically, every single student loves getting boba. There is like literally 8-10 boba places right in a like 2, 3, 4 block radius of campus. It is truly insane how all of those boba places stay in business when there are so many in like such a small radius. Getting boba is like a way a lot of students hang out if you haven't seen each other in a while, or if you just wanted to hang out after a class, or if you're going to study, then a lot of students will go grab a boba, then you'll walk around campus. It's sort of like instead of doing coffee dates to hang out with friends, you're doing boba dates to hang out with your friends. The Berkeley and the California boba is just so freaking good. Like, I miss it so much. And finally, the last assumption is that college and Berkeley is an awesome experience and it will change your life. I would definitely agree with this assumption as well. I think wherever you go to college, it is an entirely new chapter in your life. Like, you are going to meet so many new people. You're going to meet people from all over the world, from all different upbringings, from all different walks of life. That is something that I really liked about college and Berkeley specifically, is that the people are all so awesome. Everyone is passionate about something. Every day, you know, I was learning in classes, but also I was learning from the people that I was surrounded by. And college is basically the first taste of adulthood where you have responsibilities. You don't have like a parent or guardian always on you on the time telling you go to bed or study or wake up. It does help you to grow up, which is honestly so scary. And with that, I think college, like I was saying earlier in the video, like the discipline, independence, time management skills that you learn through college will help you in your life. And I think those skills that I've learned through college has helped me in my full-time job right now, being organized, having time management skills, and being able to complete tasks on a deadline. Like, all of those skills are going to be so important in the workforce. And so yeah, those are some assumptions about UC Berkeley. Definitely let me know if you have any questions by commenting down below. If you like this video, definitely give it a big thumbs up to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, and subscribe to see more content from me. I post every single Sunday and Wednesday. So thank you all so much for watching. I will see you all next time.